Hi, in this video we're looking at Google Analytics alongside various other analytic services, Kissmetrics in particular and Hotjar. However, we've been using Google Analytics for over a year, so we've got some good data on Cape Town luxury villas, so we'll be using that website as our display for this display. One thing about Google Analytics, they may not necessarily present things as prettily or have some of the advanced tools that some of the other services that we're going to be looking at are concerned. However, if you are using Google AdWords, you need to use Google Analytics because Google AdWords do not let any analytics company into their AdWords data. So if for a complete solution you need to use Google Analytics for certain areas, and you need to use Kissmetrics Analytics for certain other areas, and Hotjar Analytics for certain other areas, and all basically get those three going into your CRM or your booking system, our booking system, to create a complete picture. As we go through this video, you'll start to understand, particularly when it comes to the point of taking an inquiry and then working out from Google Analytics into the booking system which inquiry actually made a sale, so one can really understand the customer traffic flow, and then from there use Kissmetrics to look at that customer traffic flow before it even got to Google, and see if it's been at any blogs or any other sites of yours beforehand. Okay, let's go straight into it. In this example, we're looking at the January the 15th, 2016 to February the 14th. So a month. In fact, this is simply the last month that has been provided. Today is the 15th of February. And we can see here we've got 1,000 new users, 7,000 page views. Each user generally sees 5 pages and is on for 18 minutes. The bounce rate is 40%. Bounce rate means people or even bots that come to your website and don't do anything and leave. Sometimes that can be someone coming to your homepage and actually looking at your homepage but not clicking on anything. So it's not a complete stat for a complete failure, but quite often, you know, about a lot higher. The higher your bounce rate, the worse it is. There's a lot of traffic sometimes comes that you don't really want, and they're not looking for what you've got, so they come and they go away straight away. And in this case, we see, you know, if we work out on that 40%, if we say 30% of that 40%. Was, you know, mistaking traffic that came by accident, then we're really looking at 700 users, and these stats here would have to change from 7 pages per person to about 25 minutes per person. 25 minutes per person is good. You know, if someone's been on there for that amount of time, really we really should be using the software that pops up, live chat software that pops up and says hello and asks if they want to get involved, or if one's already captured their email address, see that they've been on the site for 10-15 minutes, and then just give them so if they've given you your phone number, give them a phone call. Okay, so that's what we can do with these sort of data, and all of this Google data is very, very easy to take from their API into our CRM systems. Very simple. A junior programmer can do it in half a day, depending on the complexity of the task. But it's, you know, Google have very, very, very good API. It's wonderful. You know, we spent 9 months struggling with our senior programmer on a company that had a bad API to get not much more data than a junior programmer can get from Google Analytics in a day. So that's how good their system is. Okay, let's have a look at this. This is a map that shows us where these clients have been coming from over the last month. Mostly the UK. That's because that's our target for Cape Town villas. The UK is the biggest market, followed by Germany. Surprising to see the USA is in there, because there's not such a big market there. But it's quite global. Brazil even had someone from Madagascar, someone from New Zealand, Japan, China, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, of course, 164, UK 549. So that's 20 people per day from the UK. Okay, we love Germany because the Germans have got more money, so we love Germany. Okay, and here we can just see a estimation of how much we will have made from these inquiries. This is actually 19% out. It works on creating a estimated value of $220 per booking request, and it works it out from there. We've actually now tallied it up with last year's financials, and it has to go up 19% to be accurate. This is not representative of exactly how things happen, though. This is the people who booked through the booking system. This is not people who then who chose to email us, which is about 1 in 4 from the booking, and it's not people who phoned. However, as all the people are coming to the phone number are the same people who would be coming, the same type of people, same user behaviors would come to the inquiry button, it's representative of the dispersion between the countries. It's just there's more than this. There were more than 49 requests last month, because we're not this is 49 through the booking system. This is not 49 through it's not including telephone calls, and it's not including direct emails either. Okay, moving on. This gives us a quick view of who's looking at us, desktop versus tablet versus mobile, and we can see desktop wins, tablet does well, mobile doesn't do well at all, albeit the average person spent a long time on the mobile. Now the mobile on Cape Town Luxury Villas is not good. The experience is not good. It hasn't got a mobile website. It's just a normal website. And I'm surprised at this figure of 24. We have got a full jQuery mobile website that we may stick on to Cape Town Luxury Villas, which will solve the problem of the inquiries, because obviously we can see here, people are spending a lot of time, but they're not inquiring, so maybe their inquiry form is not mobile friendly. In fact, I know it isn't mobile friendly. Okay, so all sorts of useful data, and it pays a lot of. It's well worth looking at this, and what we want to do with our CRM is have all of this useful data. I mean, the thing is, Google Analytics is quite complicated. There's a lot of different pages. There's I think 500, 600, 700 different pages you can look at, when all you really want to be doing is seeing the data from about 10. So we're going to be taking the data from those 10 pages and putting that on a overview of Google Analytics on our site, like you see on WordPress, but a little bit more specific. We already have the API. What we're doing with the API currently is in Magic Menus. Is we're looking at how many people viewed a villa on a certain day, and if it rises over 4 people viewed it on a certain day, it rises in the menu and the XML sitemap priority. Okay, moving on. Where are we now? Okay, this is having a look at the last month, seeing where the traffic came from, and we can see 32 booking requests came from paid search, Google AdWords basically, and we can see the average person spent 11 minutes on site. That's sort of indicating that there's that AdWords campaign could be a little bit more optimized, but it doesn't cost a lot compared to what it brings in, and if it's not broken, don't fix it. Organic search for the last month, we can see it did very well. 30% of all inquiries came from organic search, half of what came from Google AdWords. Okay. Here we're moving to a different time span. We're now looking at 15th of December 2014 to 14th of December 2015. We paused Google AdWords on the 15th of December for a month, so we can't, if we're looking through things, we need to not look at that month, otherwise it will not give us proper stats. We can see here paid search 249, 65%, bringing us $49,000, which is, because we've got to add 20% to that, is just under $60,000, maybe $58,000. If we look at the financials, we can see it made 212 rands, which is $13,000. So $13,000. Sorry, let's get back to where we were. $13,000 brings in $58,000. You know, that's good. You know, Airbnb would love those stats, I'm sure. Okay, so yeah, we're seeing organic brought in 23% of the visitors. People came direct to the websites through display ads, through social media, and you can see, you know, social media is really poor. Certainly something we're working on it right now. Okay, now we come to the fun part. Google AdWords and organic tracking. Now, this is just a quick look at the AdWords, and this is a quick look at goals that have been set for the AdWords campaign, and indeed for organic traffic, and indeed all traffic. And we can see here, for instance, if one's looked, I'm sorry, this is only, we can only put this for the last 7 days. I don't know why Google do that, but that's what they do. It's possible to change it in somewhere, or I don't know. But anyway, we can see here 130 people have looked at over 3 pages, and that's important because we use Google Ad Roll at 3 pages, page visits. So we know we're going to be showing 130 people from Google Ad Roll new ads this week. If someone's been on the site for more than 5 minutes, there's 108 of those. People who viewed over 5 pages, 91. On the site over 10 minutes, 86. On the site over 20 minutes, 64. Over 10 page views, 52. Made a booking request, 15. Looked at contact page, 9. Looked at visited favorites page, 2. But this is the stat we're interested in. Make a booking request. Okay. Sorry, that page shouldn't be there. Sorry, a little bit. Okay, this page should not be here either. Right, okay, this is our booking system. It's very, you know, we didn't put any design into this. It's very antiquated, but it works. And it can work because we can now backdate all what I'm about to show you. We can go back and do this for up until when we started Google Analytics, which was over a year ago. These are the dates we're looking at, and there weren't actually many inquiries over these few days, but it's a proof of concept. So we're looking at the 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th, and we had 3 inquiries on the 10th, none on the 11th, 2 on the 12th, and 1 on the 13th. And if we have a look at show more, we can see it drops down and gives us the information that they provided, the client provided, and it's got a, you know, vague CRM capability that was built in. This was done in 2013. We haven't done it. Let's have a, you know, this one here, 27th of the 3rd to the 7th of the 4th. That's, I think that might be Easter, but it's a fair, so that would probably be a good inquiry. So, you know, one would put that. It was in between a good and a medium. Anyway, and if one converted it, it would go in green, so one can see it differently. Okay, so this is just showing you what we've got to work from. So we've got the 10th The thing is, what we've done is we've tracked it here, and we've tracked it to the exact time that inquiry's come in. 2:16 on the 10th. And we can see here now we've recently added this extra, so as if when someone's got a phone call inquiry, one can add that in as well. And if one's received an inquiry by email, we can add that in as well. And this is what we're doing next. Okay, this is the 10th of February. Okay, and we can see on the 10th of February we had 3 inquiries, 1, 2, 3, and we know the times for each one. And here we can see this one here, 2 o'clock, yeah, this one here, and this one here. So we can see the goal pages coming in for people who have made an inquiry. So now what we can do is we can track this inquiry by making using Google's API to tell us exactly when that happened, and then that behavior, that inquiry, will then be attached to this inquiry. And as this inquiry then goes through the process, we can see, immediately we can see which inquiries are good and which inquiries are not good. So we could look and say, we've got this campaign doing this, we've got this campaign doing this. But if we find out that one such campaign is only bringing us in 2 or 3 day inquiries that really aren't doing anything, or in contrast, another campaign we're doing is bringing us in a lot of good inquiries, we know to raise the bids on the good inquiries and lower or even take away the bids on the not good inquiries. And so let's just continue this so we can see it. As I said, we can see the 3 inquiries coming in here, and we can get this information, and now we can track it from whether it came from a campaign that was advertising Cape Town villas or Cape Town rentals, or whether it was advertising Cants Bay luxury villas, or whatever keyword it was doing. We will now track this going forwards, and we'll see later how this will also be merged with Kissmetrics, so we can get data, a lot more data for the client before they inquired. Okay, so let's just go back to track. So we've got 10 on the 10th, 3 inquiries. We can see that here. We can see we didn't have any inquiries on the 11th, and you can see that's got no inquiries. On the 12th, 2 inquiries. On the 13th, 1 inquiry. So, this is going to be great, because Google AdWords and Google Organic, particularly Google AdWords, this data, telling you it's made an inquiry is useful. Yeah, of course it is, but it's nowhere near as useful as telling you if it's made a booking, or what booking it made, or what the inquiry was like in the first place. By doing this, and this is sort of simple, this is what's going to be happening over the next 6 months, maybe even the next 4 months. This isn't stuff to be done when we can afford it. This doesn't cost us anything other than our time, so it's great. Love it. Okay, just also on Google Analytics, what are we doing here? We're looking at the last 14 days here, I believe. No, sorry, we're seeing the last year, but it's only showing us the 90 days because that's all it does. And this is the Google Organic search engine optimization, and you can see it by queries, and you can see which pages have been landing on. And if you go like that, you can see all the different pages and how many what pages they're landing on. So homepage had, what was best to look for here? This shows you how many people looked for, how many times it was shown on Google. This shows how many times it was clicked on. And really we want these clicked on, because that's the stat we want to be looking at. And look, you can see, and I'm just presuming this is the first, yes, this is the landing pages. This is the first page that a client will come to. And you can see that there are many different pages that clients have landed on. Let's wait till we get, and this is just in the last 3 months. There are 123 different pages that have been landed on, and only 2 of those pages will be from Google AdWords. The rest of all these pages, 123, have been landed on because of the magic keywords software that we developed, which, as we've shown in the previous videos, for long tail keywords over about 5 or 6 words, we often come up as number 1 or number 2 in the search engines, and that's why all of these different pages are being looked at, because they're it'll be a long-term keyword about Constantia, it'll be Fresnay, it'll be whatever, and you can see there 123 different pages are appearing enough to get clicks from the search engine. Okay, so that's it for Google AdWords. Let's move over to Hotjar, which I don't know that much about. What I do know is their pricing is within our market at the moment. At the moment, everything's being done using the cheapest possible way, because that's the way. It's the only way we can do it. But in 6 months' time, once a few franchises have been established and sold, even got a bit of revenue in from them, we could afford all this other lovely software. The great thing about it is you only have to buy it once. The fact that you're using it potentially at the moment only for free websites, but the fact that we potentially want to use it for millions of websites means we're only paying for it once, and we can use it again and again and again and again and again. However, Hotjar is good analytics, and it's well priced. 29 euros per month for the Pro edition, which is all we need at the moment. And yeah, sample size 10,000 page views per day. We're within that. Okay, so let's have a look at what they do. It's just sort of new to me, so I'm not going to take you through it. I'm just going to play you their video. This is
Hotjar heat maps. You can easily see how your visitors are experiencing your pages across multiple devices. You can see where your visitors click or tap, move their mouse, as well as how far they actually scroll down on your pages. To create a new heat map, click on Heat Maps in the left panel and then on the button New Heat Map. To start, you need to choose a snapshot size. The snapshot size values the number of page views from which data is recorded before the heat map is considered to be complete. Hotjar uses snapshots to allow you to create an unlimited number of heat maps across an unlimited number of pages in a very affordable way.
Okay, we get it.
Snapshots also make it
yeah, heat map shows where customers are going. This isn't really a CRM function. This is a web designer function, because me as a web designer, when I'm making my homepage and my pages, I'd like to see where most of the people are clicking. Because if they're clicking on something that's I'm not, favoring, I can change it. Okay, let's have a look at what else they do. Recordings.
With Hotjar recordings, you can play back your actual visitors' behavior on your site pages, just like you were looking over their shoulder while they're using your site. You can see the pages they visit and how they interact with your site's content, functionality, and fields and forms. This makes it easy to see where they hesitate, get confused, and what leads them to abandon your site. Hotjar includes a few playback controls to make it easier to watch multiple recordings. You can skip pauses to automatically skip sections where the cursor and scrolling is idle. Alternatively, you can change the speed of the playback. Or you can even...
Okay, again, useful for web design and, the team that are trying to get that website, trying to get that customer journey used. I believe there are functions like this in Google Analytics, but You know, we're going to give it a go, see if it's of any use, whether we're ever going to get round to putting this within our API and connecting it with other, well, connecting it to the system as opposed to just using it as a separate piece of software. I can't say. Let's move on to something I really love, Kissmetrics, and yeah, you see at the moment at $700, there's $500 a month, just out of our price bracket, and we really need these two things here: the path report and the power report. That's really why I'm going for this. Okay, now unfortunately, Josh, who I spoke to quite a few times at Kissmetrics, he's no longer with the team, and the way he showed it to me was a lot better than the way Kissmetrics show it on their website and on their blogs. But I'll show it to you the way they're presenting it, and I'll describe it how Josh showed it. Okay, this is one of the closest I could come to what they do, and you see here we've got visited site, 1 organic, 2 direct, 3 organic, 4 direct, 5 organic, purchase. Now that's sort of, you know, probably quite typical of what we might expect. But we would obviously expect to see AdWords in there a lot more. And I think whilst they can't drill down into the AdWords data, they can tell us it came from AdWords. They can't tell us it came from AdWords, campaign, Camps Bay, villas, keyword Camps Bay villas. They can tell us it came from AdWords. And so let's just, I'll just try and describe to you what Josh showed me. And this was about their website, which is Kissmetrics, which is a different kind of website to a villa website, because a villa website is a short-term project, a short-term site, really. Quite often people will come on via Google AdWords, and they're in the middle of a buying decision. They'll make a few inquiries, a few different agencies. The agents will come straight on board, sending them villas, and they'll book a villa. Whereas if one's signing up to a $700 a month analytics report, you're going to do your research quite a few times before you come to it. And what Josh showed me he said it's really showed the customer journey. I think it started with the customer saw a video on YouTube. So it started with YouTube, and it said that had, I think, 10 or 8 different YouTube hits on that video. Then it went into the blog, and then they went to the website directly, and on the website they looked at the purchase page, much as the same way as we've done the Google Analytics goals here. But then the customer journey went back, and we didn't hear from the customer for a little while, and they came back for a blog, and after the blog they then clicked inquire. And I think it was 60 or 70 different interactions that client had before he clicked inquire. And you see, what we're trying to do is track it back through AdWords. That's what all this was about, tracking it back through AdWords, so as we can see exactly when that customer inquired, and then taking that forwards through the sales process into the CRM, so as we can then work out which AdWords campaigns converted or not. With Kissmetrics, we can see all other things, all the other, whether it came from a social network, how the client came in, and the journey of that client, which really is something that will be very useful for salespeople, because it tells you a different story of that client. If a client has come in and you can see, oh, this client came in from AdWords last night, he'd never been on our website before, they've put it in a request, it's like, okay, that's a new client. You could, you can't the welcome you would give would be different to someone who's come along and been around for, a few months. That client, the way you would sell to that client would be different. You would be a more sort of soft sell, answer their inquiry, as opposed to hard sell. Yes, this villa is available, but someone else is looking for it. La-di-da, la-di-da. Typical salespeople BS. Okay, so that's Kissmetrics. Really keen to use that. And that is something I'd like to be using within the end of this year. We see it's $700, but as I said, that's $700 we pay. We get 5 million events for that. That's a lot. So we'll put Kissmetrics on all the websites we create. Okay, Optimizely is an A/B testing analytics system that works with Kissmetrics very well. What this does is it really, not really showing it there, is it? Well, what it does is it allows you to make 2 different versions of your homepage. And maybe you're just looking at a different color button or a different style of button. Or, you're looking at 2 completely different home pages and you're seeing which of those 2 home pages created the most conversions. And from where we're going from the inquiry system into the CRM, created the many bookings and how much were those bookings worth. So really, really valuable way of assessing new websites, especially, it's difficult as a web designer looking at it. I mean, we've really thought about the new homepage for Villa Secrets, really thought about it. And, we've looked at Airbnb, we've looked at HomeAway, and we've seen, there seems to be this thing with a date picker, location, bedrooms, search. And that seems to be, and we've featured that in there, but, it would be really useful to know that was working as opposed to another section was working. And when we put things lower down the homepage, we really want our blogs to be seen, and because the blogs look better than the Villa pages, the Villa blogs look better than the Villa pages. We really want the blogs to be seen, so getting those blogs on that homepage in a way that they get seen, so as it's not all straight the way through the search. Okay, let's move forwards. Don't know much about this at all, I'm afraid. Really, I just did a search to see who else was in the game of analytics, and Adobe cropped up. I'm an Adobe Cloud user. Been using their software since 1999. I looked at their video, and it was sort of like looking at Microsoft's video on their CRM, which didn't seem to do anything that a CRM should do. But it could easily just be that Adobe are targeting a different type of functionality that I'm looking for and actually have something good to say. It's just I'm not at the level where I can work out how to fit that in. Facebook analytics, for sure we want Facebook analytics because we want to know, we want pages in our menus to go up and down depending on the amount of Facebook likes they have. So really we want to be making a direct analytics API with certainly the top 4: Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Google Plus, because Google Plus is important for web for SEO. Albeit I still can't work out how to find friends on it. Anyway, so yeah, this could be interesting. Again, this is just a quick search. I've done no research on this, but this is there are a few different companies who do all the social media analytics for you, and that might be quite useful. It looks quite good here because it's got a PR value, which makes sense. Yeah, okay, so this is analytics. See you in the next video. Bye.